Over the past few years, Kenya's infrastructure expansion has seen mega projects running. While such mega plans are intended to spur development, they have continued to generate greater inequality through massive displacement of populations, intensifying vulnerability. The missing link has been the disregard of community needs and aspirations, propagated by their exclusion from participation in the design and delivery mechanisms of the mega missions, ostensibly due to communities' low capacity in planning.
In a lot of the practitioners, social planning is still not well understood. It's put on the backyard or parked in the backyard, so to say.
The idea of right to the city collapses. Because it has collapsed, what we have mainly are rebel cities. And with the rebel cities, then you see mobile vendors on the CBD, the people's settlement flourishing, matatu culture flourishing.
A possible intervention to remedy such resistance is to plan with the communities, support their needs and interests in all their affairs through social planning. Across the globe, various models have been adopted, such as the Symbiocity model of social planning, which focuses on visioning and prioritization, including forecasting and backcasting with the community as a key stakeholder. Locally, working towards sustainable urbanization and development, Civil Society Urban Development Platform (CACDP) is embracing the concept of social planning while placing the community at the heart of every development and giving players a chance to engage, bargain, and negotiate over planned development initiatives.
The city is indeed a city of people before it becomes a city of other infrastructure. And we actually look at the right to the city way beyond just the element of meeting the rights, but about communities being able to participate in decisions that affect them and also shape the form of services that are delivered back to the citizenry.
In 2016, through the support of the Embassy of Sweden in Nairobi, Civil Society Urban Development Platform (CACDP) and its partners Pamoja Trust and the Center for Urban Research and Innovation at the University of Nairobi began a discourse around people-centric approach to planning while using an innovative concept dubbed Adaptive Settlement Planning Model (ASPM).
It is critical that we all speak the same thing, we understand our roles and support communities to achieve better living spaces and address existing problems within our localities.
The collaboration acknowledges that when bringing communities fully on board and planning with them, there is need to embrace adaptations which include governance, planning, community, climate, institutional, and training adaptations. The model has three components within its adaptability.
Some of the benefits of ASPM include the recognition and strengthening of the community's capacities in planning their own development. Secondly, the utilization of the generated data and plans by communities to negotiate for the integration of their priorities in the planning and access to resources, rights, services, while making sure that the related conflicts are resolved. There is also the appreciation, engagement, and promotion of climate-smart interventions by the communities and other stakeholders. We have also seen the security of tenure being promoted through ASPM. And finally, the active participation by the communities in the planning processes have promoted ownership, which has strengthened the sustainability of the development initiatives.
When CSUDP visited our village, they taught us how to unite and make a group. We had a very tight education. This was our blackboard. My teacher taught me how to keep a record. The other one taught me how the little I can save. Not to wait until when I have a huge amount of money. When we came together, we decided on saving 100 per month. So we started at the banking. When you take 100 shillings, you brought it with the interest of 10%. And we have seen it improving in even our bombers. When we get taught, we're trying to start a business. We're trying to make briquettes. So they decided to help us with solar panel. For us to save that little money, which we buy paraffin with it. Then they brought us some jikos, and a very special jiko, because it says makara. So we are much happy.
The experiences, lessons, and benefits from the interventions of the adaptive settlement planning model have attracted the interests of various local and international stakeholders in development, academia, and practice. Internationally, a partnership has been established between Swedish Environment Protection Agency SEPA and CSUDP since 2018 through its capacity building program on strengthening institutions for sustainable climate, urbanization, and development. The program focuses more on data collection, governance, and climate change promotion.
And gather as much information as possible in order to facilitate meaningful stakeholder engagement practices, because on that base of knowledge you can actually design strategies and actions and activities to this end.
The more you include, the better result you see. And this is also in terms of sustainability.
But you can't stop there, because you have to use the data for decision making.
The participation of CSUDP in this global learning and exchange platform is aimed at stimulating the benefits of social planning and influencing the infusion of social planning in community development, practice, and academia, while promoting sustainable climate, urbanization, and development.
It shouldn't just be the government that develops policy. It should definitely be others, actors as well. And therefore, I think I really appreciate the work that CSUDP do here, and I think it's really, I think that is a strength in itself.
Through SEPA, CSUDP is now in partnership with BTH, the Swedish Planning School, a collaboration that is keen on promoting the North-South interactions and exchange through research, training, and practice of social planning.
What it is the core of education, what it is the core of the program. And the core doesn't mean that it will be something which is ideal within planning. It must be related to the reality, to the context that planners will confront.
We have also worked in partnership with UN Habitat to explore how we can get practitioners to be refreshed around some of the principles that are necessary. Perhaps give them an opportunity to work as planners who are socially oriented.
Social planning within practice is more or less seen as a stakeholder participation, thing. As such, it's taken very lightly, with very little thoughts going into this. And the second point is that a lot of focus, as a result, is on the communities and the neighborhoods associations. Leaving out the real people, especially the professionals, who should be, leading or championing this element of planning. If you compare, for example, environmental planning, we have certifiable courses in environmental planning, for example. We have certifiable courses in urban design, for example. But we haven't reached the point where social planning is now certifiable. And I think that is where we need to go.
In May of 2019, CSUDP, in partnership with Kenya Institute of Planners, organized a workshop which attracted the participation of heads of planning schools, planners from selected counties, and civil society organizations representatives. The workshop aimed to instigate a conversation on curriculum review in planning institutes, to correspondingly supply the social planning and community development skills demanded from the modern-day planner.
We've seen the usual planning. We normally do just public participation, whereby we just go, we listen to them, we come back and write, but we don't involve them totally like the SPM is trying to do right now.
As academia who are training people who are going to be managers, we therefore need to look at how best can the products of the university be able to deal with this change, because there's formality and informality has issues. So how do you deal with informality when you yourself are in a formal system?
There is need for even retraining the trainers so that they think differently on the term informality and formality.
A rising demand amongst planners therefore triggered a response from Kenyatta University and partners to initiate the process of designing a regular program for social planning and community development.
We are working very closely with Kenyatta University to try and see them be the first university in Kenya to actually have a complete and comprehensive program on social planning.
The proposed diploma program at Kenyatta University aims to enhance understanding of the complexity of issues associated with communities and their development, as well as to develop capacity on how to achieve the goals of community well-being and development.
We plan to have this diploma in such a way that it has practical aspects through studios, and one of the studios could be neighborhood planning. It could be at a rural scale or at an urban scale. The interface between academia and the practitioners is important, so that we have these students working in collaboration with the practitioners, people working in the communities, in the informal sector, could apply these skills and engage with communities much more better.
Building on the academia, community and practice interests and the existing aim between CSUDP and the Swedish Environment Protection Agency SEPA, a consultative workshop amongst stakeholders was convened in cooperation with Kenyatta University and Pamoja Trust.
We don't parachute the plans to communities, but we co-plan with them, we co-design with them, and we develop solutions jointly, so that then this is embedded in the community and it gets legitimacy and it becomes more sustainable.
Presenting a platform for experience sharing, routing advocacy channels, and framework for development for social planning infusion in academia and practice, a consensus was built for social planning at 3 distinct levels: community, practice, and the academia. Moving forward, several considerations need to be made.
We have the state and the actors here, which sometimes you keep miss. You have to put the state and the market. I see a lot of our discussions is only about the state, but the market is also implicated, because the protocols of the market and the policies by the state sustain these inequalities. What is a new form of rationality that we are bringing in as a new imperative? That is rationality of values. Values such as human dignity, participation, inclusion, sustainable development, ecological sensitivity.
We should integrate social planning as a critical aspect of the planning process, because we are supposed to create plans from the lowest level, from the neighborhood to the ward to the sub-county. And those lower level plans are the ones which are supposed to feed into every higher level plan.
Effective social planning processes that promote integration and collaboration and which support appropriate responses to local issues, challenges, and opportunities remain essential in the pursuit of vibrant, progressive, and sustainable development.